Our dear Filipinos, greetings. We, the fifth-dimensional civilization called the SSN, are here to explain to you the complete nature of reality and existence. The basic blueprint of the structure of existence. Self-aware, self-reflective, free will entity. All things are the same one thing vibrating at different rates. Receiving the reality you desire. 3 phases for receiving the version of reality you prefer. You already have everything you desire. 2 quick techniques for manifesting your preferred reality. Visualization, how to do it effectively. Shifting between parallel realities. Handling challenging situations. Feelings and beliefs. Neutral props. Follow your excitement. Finding your purpose in life. Trusting your timing. Positive synchronicity. All beliefs are equally valid. Making it easy to change your beliefs. The present is not the result of the past. The basic blueprint of the structure of existence. The 5 basic laws of creation. These 5 basic laws are true everywhere, everyone in the universe including all dimensions. 1. New exist. I am. 2. Everything is here, now. 3. The all is one, and the one is all. 4. What you put out is what you get back. 5. The only constant in the universe is change. Except for the first 4 postulates, which never change. 1. New exist. I am. If you exist now, your existence is eternal. You have always existed and you always will exist. You may change form. But you are existing always. So relax, you'll be around forever. 2. Everything is here, now. Time and space are illusions. But your experiences within time, space are real. There is only here, now. 3. The all is one, and the one is all. Just as each tiny section of a hologram contains the information for the entire hologram, likewise we are all interconnected. Everything is truly just one totally interconnected thing. 4. What you put out is what you get back. The outside is a reflection of the inside. Physical reality is actually a mirror. Your physical reality is just a holographic reflection of what you most strongly believe to be true. And like a mirror, physical reality will not change unless you change first. Change what you most strongly believe. 5. The only constant in the universe is change. Except for the first 4 postulates, which never change. So might as well get used to eternally changing creation. Enjoy the ride. Surf the changes. Every individual is a self-aware, self-reflective, free will entity. A holographic representation of the infinite creation. Every individual is always as powerful as they need to be to create whatever reality they desire, without having to hurt anyone else or themselves, in order to get it. All things are the same one thing vibrating at different rates. Just as water and steam and ice are all the same thing vibrating at different frequencies, likewise, matter and energy are the same substance vibrating at different frequencies. Highest frequencies. Steam. Consciousness. Medium frequencies. Water. Liquid. Spirit. Electromagnetic energy. Lower frequencies. Ice. Matter. All things are spirit vibrating at different frequencies. Matter is solidified energy. Matter is spirit energy vibrating at a slower frequency. Your body is solidified spirit, crystallized spirit. Your spirit is not in your body. Your body is in your spirit. As you raise your vibrations, you become more spirit-like, moving closer towards fluid-like spirit, thereby making your reality creation more malleable and easily changeable. Receiving the reality you desire. A radio does not have to create the program it wishes to hear. It merely needs to receive an already existing program. And it makes itself an effective receiver by matching frequencies, synchronizing frequencies, creating a similarity of vibrations with the program it wishes to receive. Likewise, you don't have to create the reality you desire, because it already exists, among the infinite probable realities all simultaneously coexisting. All you have to do is make yourself an effective antenna, so that by similarity of vibrations, you can receive that reality. And this makes it physiologically real for you. First, you have to be that vibration. Then, you automatically receive that reality. You must see the reality you prefer as now existing in the moment. Then, it will become tangible in your outer reality. A radio uses a channel tuner to select and receive any one particular station, out of all the programs that are simultaneously existing all around the radio. Likewise, there are infinite probable realities that we could receive and experience at any moment. How do we select which one of these we wish to pull to the foreground to experience? We select and receive specific versions of reality by our beliefs. We select and receive by our 100% trust in what we know is so. Here's the physics of how this works. Just as a radio must first vibrate at a particular frequency in order to receive the one particular broadcast, from all of the possible simultaneous broadcasts, that happens to be vibrating at that same frequency, likewise. Each belief gets you vibrating at a unique set of frequencies. These frequencies then attract, by sympathetic resonance, those holograms vibrating on the same frequencies. That is, out of the background universal matrix of infinite possible holograms, all of the infinite possible versions of reality that are simultaneously existing, those holograms and symbols that synchronistically vibrate at the same frequencies as the frequencies of your belief, get pulled out from this matrix and received by you as the actual external physical experiences that you then sense as real, that you sense as objective reality. So each belief is a unique set of frequencies, which is a template that determines which holograms you attract into your experience. What we believe and totally trust to be so, sets up the alignment from which we receive that particular version of reality. This trust or knowing is the mechanism by which creation takes place. Without believing, we would create no reality and be non-existent. At every given moment, we are always totally believing something. All possible versions of your reality already exist. In fact, they are all here, right under your nose, right here, right now. However, most of these versions are invisible to us, and they become visible only when we tune ourselves, via our beliefs, to be compatible and resonant with the frequencies of any one particular version. Furthermore, since time is only a local illusion that does not really exist, everything you ever hope to become or attain, you have already become and attained. If it's invisible to you, that's only because your beliefs do not yet have you vibrating in a manner that is synchronous with those versions. You contain it all possible versions. And all these here, now versions are in various states of visible, invisible for you, depending on your beliefs relative to any particular version. You see and objectively experience the versions that are synchronized with how you are vibrating. And it's your beliefs at any given moment that determine how you are vibrating. It's all a hologram of many holograms. In a hologram, each part of the hologram contains the information for the whole hologram. The universe is structured holographically. You are holographic. Each possible version of your reality is also holographic. You contain within you all possible versions of reality. All holograms, versions of reality, are contained within you. From all these infinite possibilities, you select the version to be experienced with your beliefs, imagination, and feelings. Your imagination is the archive of all your possible holograms. From this archive of possibilities, the version that you imagine, believe, or focus your imagination on, is your currently selected version of reality. Then you activate this selected version with your feelings. The more intense the feelings, the more powerfully you activate this version, and therefore, the more quickly it manifests as your tangible reality. Positive feelings activate the positive desired versions. Negative feelings activate the negative undesired versions, the dreaded outcomes. Your beliefs are the result of what you imagine, and then activate with your feelings. The version with the most intense feelings attached to it, is the version that gets activated. As an analogy, if your computer screen offers you many choices, and all you have to do is click on one of them to select it, then your imagination is the total of all the available choices on the screen. Moving the mouse to the desired choice is like focusing your imagination on one particular vision. And then clicking on that choice is like using your feelings to activate your selection. Misconception: seeing is believing. What we perceive determines what we believe. The actuality: believing is seeing. What we believe determines what we perceive. So, don't wait to perceive it before you start believing it. Believe it first, and then you will perceive it accordingly. Beliefs to perception to interpretation to emotional reaction to thoughts to action. 1. Your beliefs determine the reality that you perceive. Your beliefs determine your perception of reality. 2. You then immediately, automatically, and usually unconsciously, interpret your perception of reality. That is, you, arbitrarily, assign, project, and superimpose an interpretation onto your perception of reality. 3. You then emotionally react to your interpretation of that reality. 4. You then have thoughts about this reality. 5. Then, based on your emotions and thoughts, you take action. When you are watching television and the current program displeases you, you do not try to change or transform that program. Instead, you simply choose another program that you do prefer. Likewise, if the reality you are experiencing displeases you, you do not need to change or transform that reality. You only need to choose another version of reality to receive, by synchronizing your vibrations with the version of reality you do prefer to experience. It already exists. All you have to do is receive it. You select the channel you're watching in life. To change the outside, change the inside. To make it even easier. To be technically accurate. People do not create their reality. They select it and allow it in. As an analogy, a TV set does not create the program it's displaying. It just selects it and allows it in. A radio does not create the radio program it's playing. It just selects it and allows it in. Realizing this, it should make it feel even easier to create/select/allow the version of reality you wish to experience. Because you don't have to create the version of reality you want. It already exists. All you have to do is select it and allow it in. All possible version of reality already all exist. When they say God is infinite, they're not kidding. You don't have to create the version of reality you wish to experience. It already exists. It's happening right now, on some other parallel reality track. All you have to do is select it and let it in. 3 phases for receiving the version of reality you prefer. 1. See it. Mental. Visualize it. Imagine it. Daydream it. Visualize it clearly. You don't need to visualize it for a long time. Short time is sufficient, but you need to visualize it clearly. You need to have a solid clear picture. Visualizing it creates the blueprint, so see it in great detail. See it == become an efficient mental antenna to receive this version of reality. 2. Feel it. Emotional. Get excited and passionate about it. How would you feel if you had it now? Feel it now. Plug into your vision with all your emotions and all your senses, as if you had it now. Involve all your senses, imagine smelling it, touching it, tasting it, etc. Feel it == become an efficient emotional antenna to receive this version of reality. 3. Be it. Physical. Physical action. Do it. To ground the experience. Do actions that most closely mimic the actions you see yourself doing in your vision. Gather and use whatever props mimic that scenario, and do a dry run. Doing this make-believe physical action trains the body consciousness. This makes it real for you now, so the universe then delivers it to you. Note, this physical action does not directly cause this desired reality to manifest. Instead, this physical action creates a more precise vibration in yourself, making you a better antenna to receive it, by you becoming more aligned to the same vibration. The reality you desire already exists. You do not have to create it. You only have to receive it. Become an efficient physical antenna to receive this version of reality. In other words, 1. See it. Become a precise mental antenna to receive that version of reality. 2. Feel it. Become a precise emotional antenna to receive that version of reality. 3. Be it. Become a precise physical antenna to receive that version of reality. You already have everything you desire. Since you contain everything, and all possible versions of your reality are all actually simultaneously existing and real, you therefore already have everything you desire or could ever desire. You contain it all. You have already been given everything you could ever hope to have or want. It's just that it may not be visible, and therefore real, to you. Creation all exists here now, outside time, in one eternal now moment. Therefore, everything that you believe you might someday get, you actually already have. Everything is here now, but in varying states of visibility, invisibility, depending on the frequencies on which you are vibrating, which depends on the beliefs that you accept as real. When you pray for something, you do not need to pray to get something you do not already have, since it's already right there in front of you. Instead, you are actually praying to be able to see that you actually already have it. Because when you can see that you already have it, then your vibration frequency matches the vibration of that which you desire. And once you frequency match with that which you desire, then it has to manifest in your reality. Everything is energy. You cannot help but then get that reality, because that's the physics of how the universe works. When you match frequencies with what you desire, you will then see that it has always been right here, just waiting for you to notice it and start enjoying it. 2 quick techniques for manifesting your preferred reality. First quick technique. 1. Get a clear vision or intention of what you would like your preferred reality, your preferred life, to be like. 2. Because you simply exist, you automatically deserve everything you may want. Accordingly, make sure you feel you deserve this preferred reality. 3. What would be the beliefs of someone already experiencing precisely this reality? 4. Adopt those beliefs. 5. When events contradicting this belief come up, or when beliefs come up that are in contradiction to your recently adopted beliefs. A. Do not be in denial. Acknowledge and own these disempowered beliefs. Because you cannot change what you do not own. B. Realize that these disempowered beliefs and your recently adopted beliefs are both equally real, equally valid, and you contain them both. C. With this realization, simply choose to express your preferred recently adopted beliefs. Since you already contain all beliefs, you don't need to get rid of the undesired beliefs. Simply express the preferred beliefs. 6. Feel the way someone would feel that is already experiencing this preferred reality. 7. Think the way someone would think that is already experiencing this preferred reality. 8. Act the way someone would act that is already experiencing this preferred reality. Second quick technique, the referential preferential you. 1. Conjure up in your imagination the ideal or divine or perfect or ultimate version of yourself. If you find this difficult, then imagine your favorite divine being instead. 2. In your imagination, Put this ideal you or divine being into this preferred reality situation. 3. Watch in your imagination how the ideal you or divine being feels, thinks, and acts in this preferred reality situation. 4. Simply copy that behavior. A. Feel the way the ideal you or divine being is feeling in this preferred reality situation. B. Think the way the ideal you or divine being is thinking in this preferred reality situation. C. Act the way the ideal you or divine being is acting in this preferred reality situation. Note, your imagination is the pipeline through which your higher self talks to you. Visualization, how to do it effectively. This explains the mechanics of how to effectively manifest what you are visualizing and wishing to manifest. Remember, the physical mind is not designed to know how something will manifest, or what it will look like when it does manifest. But you can use it to decide what you want. Your visualization is simply a symbolic representation of a state of being, whose purpose is to generate excitement within you. But it may not manifest in the form you are visualizing. Step 1. You create the most vivid visualization of what you want, that you can. And you get really excited about it. Step 2. You give that visualization and that excited state of being to your higher mind. Step 3. Then, you totally let go of any need that it manifest in the form you were visualizing. But you do hold on to that excited state of being associated with that visualization. So you let go that visualization, and give the visualization and that excited state of being to your higher mind, which does understand how that can come into manifestation. This way, your higher mind can produce for you a manifestation that does correspond with the excited state you gave it, but which, in specific form, is much better and more profound than the details of your specific visualization. Your higher mind can produce a manifestation that is far greater than what the human mind can ever imagine, by a long shot. So don't prevent your higher mind from giving you something profoundly better than your visualization, by insisting that it must manifest only in the form you are visualizing. Remember to give the visualization to your higher mind, and then let go of the need that it manifest in the form you were visualizing. Shifting between parallel realities. There are infinite versions of reality. There are infinite parallel realities, and they are all equally real, though you experience only one version at any given moment. Shifting from one version to another is not really that unnatural or difficult, since you're doing it all the time anyway, billions of times every second. So it's not so much a matter of making it happen. It's more a matter of directing or steering which parallel reality you shift into, at any moment. Shifting parallel realities is akin to films changing still pictures 24 times per second, or video changing still pictures 25 or 30 times per second. It happens so fast, that it creates the illusion of smooth continuous motion. When you shift to another version of reality, you become the you that already existed in that version. And the you in the version you just left, is still real and still there, since everything is consciousness, and since you are everything. Shifting from one parallel reality to another is like closing your eyes in one version and opening your eyes in another version. Shifting from one parallel reality to another is like viewing through the window of another you and no longer viewing through the window of the previous you. But keep in mind that this new you and the previous you are still both real, and have both always existed. Since you're everything and you have always existed. So shifting parallel realities boils down to the you that is everything, shifting the perspective or point of view from which it's viewing a part of its everything self. And sensing yourself as everything is not losing your identity. In contrast, it is expanding your self-identity to include everything. Handling challenging situations. Before you start, make sure you are thinking of this as a challenge rather than a problem, because problems are by definition difficult to resolve, and it is actually the way you choose to define your reality that determines the outcome you experience. A challenge is much more likely to have a desirable outcome than a problem. Then, go into your imagination and imagine the version of reality you would like to be experiencing. Make sure you are including yourself in the picture. Specifically, imagine the ideal version of you, the you would most like to be. Then insert this current challenging situation into your imaginary scene and notice how this imaginary ideal you handles the situation. Then just copy that behavior out here. Act the same way that the you in your imagination acted when confronting this situation. You know everything you need to know to be who you desire to be, at any given moment. Feelings and beliefs. Your external physical reality is a feedback loop, to let you know what your beliefs are. This way, if your external reality is not what you prefer, you can change your beliefs, in order to change your external reality. The feedback loop. Your beliefs to your perception of reality, then your feelings, then your thoughts, which then reinforce the original beliefs. Your feelings are the result of your beliefs. Your emotional reactions are the result of what you believe. To discover what your beliefs are, you can work backwards and ask yourself, what would I have to believe, in order to end up feeling this way? What would I have to believe, in order to end up perceiving this type of physical reality? When you change your beliefs about any particular reality or issue, you instantly also change how you feel about that particular reality or issue. This is why the interpretation, belief, you give any situation determines how you feel about it. Neutral props. In a theater that shows many plays, there may be some props backstage that are frequently used for several different plays. For each play that prop has a special meaning, but outside that play, the prop has no innate intrinsic built-in meaning. All the props are basically without meaning. From this innate absence of meaning, we can assign any meaning we want to them. Likewise, all the events that you experiencing as happening in your life are neutral props. Each event you experience has no innate intrinsic built-in meaning. These events are blank, neutral, no innate significance. And from this blank slate, we get to assign any significance or meaning we wish for each event we experience. Normally, we assign and project a meaning onto a neutral situation so quickly and so automatically, that we are not even aware that we are doing it. We think the interpretation or meaning is built into that situation. We are usually totally oblivious of that fact that we are the ones that are assigning a very specific meaning to what is actually a neutral event, with no built-in inherent meaning. Positive interpretation equals positive desirable experience. Negative interpretation equals negative undesirable experience. If you assign a positive meaning to an event, this will produce a positive experience for you. If you assign a negative meaning to an event, this will produce a negative experience for you. Imagine a storyline with a fork in the story, where the story could go either of two ways, one with a wonderful outcome and the other one totally unpleasant. You are at this fork in the storyline, and the interpretation that you assign to this neutral situation totally determines which fork in this storyline you will take, which version of reality you are choosing to experience. If an event occurs to you that you would normally automatically assign a negative meaning to, this is a real bummer. Choose to assign a positive meaning to that event, even if it appears negative and you do not yet know what is so positive about it. Just by assigning a positive meaning to this event and choosing to believe there is something really good about this for you, this will produce an experience that you will consider quite positive. Try it. Next time you think this is just terrible, turn it around and believe this is really positive. This is really going to be good. I can't wait to find out what is positive about it. You may even be startled by how effectively this works. Hard to do? Okay, try this. Okay, I know this looks just terrible. But I don't care. I am now going to decide that this is just great. Even though I can't imagine anything great about it, I'm not going to hope it's great. I'm not going to pray that it's great. I am going to decide that it's great, and I know that sooner or later, I will discover what is so wonderful about it. First time you see this work, it will stun you. It's like magic. It's like reality transforming right before your eyes. Follow your excitement. Finding your purpose in life. Act on it. Excitement is caused by a resonance with your higher self. Excitement is a sign that the activity you are contemplating is aligned with your higher self, and this alignment is what causes the excitement. This naturally leads you to what you are meant to be doing, what your soul hopes your free will chooses to do. This is your purpose. So this is the simple yet effortlessly effective way to find your life's purpose. Mechanically, excitement is a high state of resonant excitation that occurs when the thinking plus intentions of the physical dimension self are sharply aligned with the thinking plus intentions of its own higher self. So excitement serves as a compass, to let you know when you're on course, when you are doing or contemplating doing exactly what your higher self would just love to have you be doing. When you follow your excitement, and do what excites you, this means that 1. This activity is you, truly aligned with your soul. 2. Because it is you, this activity is effortless for you. 3. Because it is you, the universe will support you, including financial support, to continue doing this, in progressively more expanding ways. Following your excitement is following the signs your higher self is giving, to lead you in the most direct way possible to what it hopes your free will choose to do, which is the same as your life's purpose. The catch is this. Even if following your excitement means doing something seemingly trivial and unprofound, even then, just do it. Because proceeding towards doing this seemingly mundane thing, might lead you to meet someone, or discover something, that is just perfect for furthering your life's purpose. Important consideration. Follow your excitement, with integrity. Bashar defines integrity to mean, not any particular moral standard, but instead, realizing that everything is a whole, integer, and you are one with the whole. And therefore, golden rule, you treat everyone and everything with the same respect and consideration and care that you would want them to treat you. Follow your excitement, with integrity. If you have something to give, in the reality you are creating, there are people ready to receive it. If someone has a song to sing, there is an audience in that reality to hear it. Fear or anxiety is excitement with a negative judgment projected onto it. Fear, anxiety equals excitement plus negative judgment. Remove the negative judgment, and you have excitement. Fear, anxiety with the negative judgment removed equals excitement. Trusting your timing. We, as our higher self, Oversoul, actually creates time, as we experience it. Our higher self exists outside time and space. It projects portions of itself into specific time, space holograms, time, space matrices, which we then experience as an incarnation. So, from the point of view of any one incarnation, there is time, there is past, present, and future. But from the point of view of the higher self, there is no time. It's all happening now. It's just one big eternal now. So keep in mind that our higher self is creating the actual time that we are experiencing in a linear fashion. When we intensely want to do something now, and it is easily possible to do it, no problem. We just do it. But if we intensely want to do something now, and it is not possible to do it now, we are then at a critical decision junction. We can choose to interpret this as, I am not getting what I want. Or, we can choose to interpret this as, I always get what I want. If it's not available now, then there must be an excellent reason for this. Which of these choices we make is critical in determining the outcome, as this choice is equivalent to selecting a belief, and we then experience the outcome aligned with that belief. If you choose to interpret the situation as, I am not getting what I want, then, sure enough, you will continue to not get what you want. But the alternative is this. Choose to interpret this situation, of not being able to do what you want to do now, as I always get what I want. I always get what I want. If it's not available now, there must be an excellent reason for this. You see, often our higher self arranges time in such a way that we do not get what we want when we initially want it, only because it wants us to first accumulate certain experiences, certain skills, certain appreciations, certain connections with other people, certain awarenesses, first. So that when we do get to experience this thing we want, we will then be appreciating it and enjoying it on a much deeper and more profound level. So when you want to do something and it is not immediately available, remember, your higher self is merely delaying this experience, so you get some other experiences first, so that you may enjoy and appreciate this thing you want even more, when you do get it. So when you want to do something and it is not immediately available, trust your timing. Do not buy into the belief that I do not get what I want. Instead, remind yourself, I always get what I want. I always get what I want. If it's not available now, then my higher self must have some experiences it wishes me to have first, so that when I do get what I want, I'll be able to enjoy it even more. I'll be able to enjoy it on a much richer, deeper basis. Positive synchronicity. When you follow your excitement in the moment, each now moment, this leads to positive synchronicity. Things magically working out in a way that is delightfully and surprisingly pleasing. When you ignore your excitement, and are instead led by your fears and worries, this leads to negative synchronicity, upsetting events, the very things you wished to avoid. Positive synchronicity is the occurrence of events that are perfect reflections of your preferences and desires. Negative synchronicity is the occurrence of events that are perfect reflections of your fears and doubts. All beliefs are equally valid, since each belief generates its own self-validating reality. Whatever your belief, the universe will support and validate that belief by attracting the circumstances, situations, opportunities and people into your life that will reinforce that version of reality, making it easy to change your beliefs. When we experience an undesirable reality, we have to backtrack and ask ourselves, what would I have to be believing in order to create such a reality? Once we then get in touch with this belief that is creating the undesired outcome, we can decide and choose our preferred belief, what belief we would like to replace this earlier belief with. So, then we adopt this new preferred belief. But here's where it gets tricky. Often, people find themselves slipping back to the old unpreferred belief. Why? Usually, because they have this deep-seated sense, this underlying gut feeling, that, somehow, the old belief is more real, more solid, more how things really are, than the new preferred belief. So, how we can make the new preferred belief stick? The critical factor is this. Getting used to the idea that there is no reality, except for the reality you define, according to your beliefs. Getting used to the idea that there is no reality, except for whatever you define your reality to be. Getting used to the idea that there is no basic reality that is any more real than any other reality. Getting used to the idea that there is no basic reality against which you can gauge and judge how real your new belief is. The reality actually is that there is no inherent reality. There are only the realities generated by any belief, all of which are equally valid, equally real. Getting used to the idea that there is no one definition of reality that is any more real or valid than any other definition. Like starting a painting. It's an empty canvas with infinite possibilities. Empty because there is no inherent real reality at all. Infinite possibilities because reality can be anything you define it to be, according to your definitions, your beliefs. When this really sinks in, when you truly get, grok, and understand that there is no real reality, you will no longer have that lingering feeling that the old belief is more real than your new preferred belief. You will thereby not feel any deep-seated need to slip back to the old belief, because it is somehow more representative of the real world. You can then easily accept and adopt whatever definitions of reality are most aligned with the you that you prefer, and most aligned with the reality you would prefer to experience. And if you find yourself, once again slipping back to previous undesirable reality definitions, then simply sit back and spend more time contemplating these ideas about. There is no basic reality that is any more real than any other reality. There are only the realities generated by any belief. All beliefs are equally valid, equally real. Then in realizing that your new preferred belief is just as valid, and just as real, as your older undesired belief, simply choose to effortlessly adopt your new preferred belief. The present is not the result of the past. The present is the result of the present. Creation occurs only in the present. The present is the now result of what you now believe to be most true for you. Continuity from one present moment to the next is considered normal, but is actually optional. If you suddenly make a discrete shift in beliefs, you will experience a sudden discrete shift in your now reality. The present is the now result of what you now believe to be most true for you. The past has absolutely no effect on the present, except to the extent that you believe it does. As you change your present, by changing your present beliefs, you are shifting into a different parallel reality, and that different parallel reality has its own future and past. Said another way, when you change your present, you are likewise also changing your past and your future. That is, you are shifting to a totally different hologram which contains its own past that is consistent with its present, and also its own future which is likewise consistent with its present. As I believe Bashar says, you create the past and the future from the here and now. Continuity is an illusion, just like the continuity in movies is an illusion, since it's really 24 discrete pictures per second. Therefore, continuity is optional. The past progressively leads to the present, but it does not cause the present. And just as movies can suddenly shift from one scene to a totally different scene, likewise you can too, since continuity is really not necessary. Only the present is real. Therefore only the present can create the present. If you insist in believing that the present is the result of the past, then you are, now, dragging the past into the present, and, now, projecting that this seeming past has an effect on the present. Notice, by the way, that all this dragging the past into the present is also all occurring only in the present. This is like dragging an anchor around, rather than simply letting go of the anchor, the past, and living freely and easily in the present. Be free of the past. Live joyously in the present. How fear can serve you. Fear means that you believe that a scenario that you very much do not want to happen, is very likely to happen. So fear lets you know that you are believing in a reality that you do not prefer. So, fear can serve you by being an indicator, or an alarm, that lets you know that hey, I'm believing in a reality that is not at all aligned with my being. Once you become aware of this, you can choose to change your belief, so such frightening scenarios will no longer pop up in your reality. Number 1. Get in touch with the belief that is causing this fear. Ask yourself, what would I have to believe, in order to end up being afraid of this right now? Number 2. Once you get in touch with the belief that is generating this fear, then acknowledge that this is your current belief. Own it. You cannot change what you do not own. Number 3. Ask yourself, what belief would I like to replace this belief with? Number 4. Once you decide what your new preferred belief is, accept it. Adopt it. Breathe it in. Trust that this new belief is now active and functioning in your being. You don't need to get rid of the old belief. You only need to replace it with your preferred belief. Get into the mindset of the new belief. Get into the emotional feeling state of the new belief. Get into the body language and actions of the new belief. The uniqueness of each incarnation. Each soul extends portions of itself into time and space as particular incarnations. Just as many fingers extend out from the same one hand, there are many incarnations at many points in time and space, all emanating from the same soul. From the point of view of your soul, outside time and space, all these incarnations, past incarnations, present incarnation, future incarnations, are all simultaneously occurring now. Although your soul has many incarnations, each one is a unique version of you that in all eternity will never occur again. This incarnation of you, this version of you, will never occur again. So be the most you can be. Be fully who you are. That is the fulfillment of your purpose. Abundance. Abundance is the ability to do what you need to do, when you need to do it. Money is only one of many valid tools to achieve this abundance. And it is not always the most direct tool to use, for doing what you need to do when you need to do it. Unified society. Unity in a society does not come from conformity. Unity can only come from granting equality and validity to the infinite diversity of all the individuals. The universe is infinitely diverse. Every being has their own way of exploring the idea of infinite creation, and all these ways are equally valid. When a society encourages the unique expression of each individual, that is when the society is strongest and most unified. When you grant equality and validity to everyone, you are granting equality and validity to all aspects of creation, and as a reflective result of this, the entire creation supports you in everything you do as well. The meaning of life, and the purpose of existence. Existence is eternal, without beginning. Therefore existence existed before the concept of purpose or meaning came into being. Therefore, existence does not need to have any particular purpose or meaning to justify its existence. It simply is. In other words, the infinite creator set it all up as a blank slate, tabula rasa, so that you can superimpose absolutely any meaning or purpose that you wish. So, to be technically accurate, the universe is meaningless. But this is a good thing. It is truly a blessing. The infinite creator has given you free will, so that you can now use your free will, to superimpose absolutely any meaning of life, or purpose of existence that you wish. Side note, see neutral props. Judgment and preference. Judgment is invalidating that which you do not prefer. Whenever you judge anything, by focusing your attention on it, you exchange energies with it, and so you become that vibration. So you automatically become the very thing you disapprove of. You become that which you invalidate. Preference, on the other hand, is not judgment. Preference is exercising your ability to discern what is really you, what excites you, and then making choices align with the real you. To prefer one thing does not necessitate invalidating those other things you do not prefer. So the recommendation is: select what you prefer, without judging, invalidating, what you do not prefer. You become whatever you focus your attention on. To assign any meaning to anything, either a positive meaning or a negative meaning, is to invite that into your life. Being neutral about something, assigning it no meaning, is the way to not attract that reality into your life. That's terrible. You are attracting that reality. That's wonderful. You are attracting that reality. I feel neutral about that. You are not attracting that reality. Cease to invalidate yourself, because you are all you have to work with in your universe. You are the representation, in your own way, of the infinite. If you invalidate that, or any part of that, then you do not allow yourself to function as a whole being capable of using information coming to you from others in a constructive way. When you invalidate yourself, you are seriously handicapping your only reality creation engine. Love, guilt, and hate. Love is knowing the deservability and worthiness of all. Guilt is the belief in one's total lack of deservability and the belief in one's worthlessness. Therefore, guilt is the opposite of love. Hate is not the opposite of love. Hate is love processed through judgment. Hate is the polarized opposite of love, but still implies deservability. Co-creating an experience. Any experience that is shared by two or more people is the result of all the people involved agreeing to co-create that experience. Even conflict can only occur if both parties agree to be in conflict. You can only experience that which is resonant with the vibrations you are currently choosing to be. If you believe you need to be protected, you are attracting into your reality the very thing you believe you need to be protected from. If war is not of your vibration, there is no way you can experience war. You can only experience that which you have, on some level, already agreed to experience. Personality. Just as a prism diffracts the unified white light into its component colors, the personality also functions as a prism, separating the holistic energy of the soul into the three components of beliefs, emotions, and thought patterns and actions. Soul to prism of personality, then beliefs, then emotions, then thought patterns and actions. Beliefs, emotions, thought patterns and actions. Time. There is only one moment in all creation, the eternal now. Time is an illusion created by consciousness. This analogy will clarify. In a film projector, the individual frames of the film are shown in a rapid steady sequence, one frame at a time. This rapid steady sequence of still frames creates the illusion of flowing time. But in truth, all the actual frames that are used all exist simultaneously. There is the illusion of time only when the film projector displays those frames, one frame at a time, in a rapid steady sequence. Yet, all those frames exist simultaneously. In fact, the projectionist can take out the roll of film, spread it out on the floor and view all those frames at the same time. In a similar manner, our consciousness projects individual still frames of reality in a steady and extremely rapid sequence. Bashar says we do this billions of times per second, thus creating the illusion of the steady flow of time. Each of these individual still frames of reality contains absolutely no motion whatsoever. It is a frozen snapshot, perfectly still. And yet, by sequencing these still frames at a steady very fast rate, we have the illusion of time, the flow of time. Our earthly consciousness functions like the film projector, which views these still frames only in a rapid steady sequence. Our higher self functions like the film projectionist, who can take out the roll of film and view all the frames simultaneously. Our higher self functions in a timeless eternal now zone. Therefore, all time is truly now. Your past lives are occurring right now. Your future lives are occurring right now. All time periods are coexisting right now. The concept of reincarnation is not quite as accurate as simultaneous multiple incarnations. Normally, the reality frames that we view in rapid sequence are related and similar. Hence the illusion of continuity. Continuity is an illusion. Continuity is an illusion since one is not obligated to go from one frame to another frame that is almost the same. The normal flow of time, it is possible to hop to a totally different frame in this infinite universe. And this would be what is normally referred to as time travel. There is no paradox in time travel. There is no paradox in time travel. The classic grandfather paradox of time travel is not really a paradox at all. This classic paradox basically states: if you time travel to the time of your grandfather and kill him before he has any children, then your father could not have been born. Then you also could not have been born. So, if you were never born, how could you go back in time to kill your grandfather? Solution: there are an infinite number of timelines, all simultaneously coexisting. parallel but distinct tracks, or flows, of time events. Every time you time travel in the classic sense, to the past or future, you are hopping over to a different timeline, not the one that you have been living in. So anything you do in that timeline is part of the natural history of that timeline, but there was no change whatsoever in your originating timeline. This different timeline may appear to be practically identical to your own past or future, but it is in fact a totally different timeline. Hence, no paradox. Actual belief? Or what you think you believe? How can you distinguish between what you think you believe and what you actually believe? Simple. Your actions always indicate what you actually believe. Always. Your actions reveal what you are actually believing. Our beloved Filipinos, there are more than in reality than know it is. Understand it. Master it. And you will be the creator of life that you are really meant to be. We love you. So it is.